your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle news, The Bend Show. You know, where we share the other parts of life with you, whether you're out on the tractor, you're off the tractor, you're at home, you're baking cookies, whatever you might be, we are here with you because you never know what's coming around the bend. I am your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, and as always, we love hearing from all of you. Comments, stories, ideas. Get a hold of us anytime. Call or text 305-900-BEND. That is 305-900-2363, or drop an email to bendradioshow@gmail.com. Sitting beside me, as always, is my producer, sound engineer, and co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. It's hard to believe the calendar has flipped over. December is upon us.
3 weeks away from the first day of winter.
I didn't realize winter solstice is that close.
On the I got to look it up. 21st, right?
Yes, that would be the winter
22nd,
solstice.
something like that.
So then we go from, as the days have been getting shorter and shorter, see, it's not that far off that the days are going to start getting longer and longer.
In 3 weeks, they'll be getting longer.
That's true. We still got 3 weeks to go. The other good side of things, though, is the holidays are upon us, and sometimes, yes, they can get overwhelming. So today's show is going to be a lot of fun. We've got some fun ideas on how to maybe decorate for Christmas if you haven't already. Or what about those hard conversations to have when all the family and friends are together and you got to make small talk?
It's not a holiday unless people are bawling and doors are slamming, right?
Well, we're going to try and help you
eliminate that.
Exactly. Not that much of it happens this year. And we've got a great idea to do with the family. Instead of giving a gift, how about going on a gift trip instead? So we've got a busy, fun-filled, fun-packed show. So here, let's get rolling. Our top news story, real Christmas trees may have insects. That's the top message that the Department of Agriculture is wanting you to know and be aware of. And they are advising, please check the trunk, branches, and needles for any signs of the lanternfly or any other invasive insects that are out there, and be reporting any findings immediately to the department. They're requesting that people inspect their real Christmas trees for these invasive insects. The lanternfly can cause significant damage to plants and trees, so it's crucial right now to inspect your tree before bringing it indoors.
And isn't there kind of a shortage of trees this year? Haven't we been reading that?
Yes, there is, and I've been a big fan of having a real Christmas tree over the years.
I've never had one.
I can't believe it.
Never growing up. We have never had a real Christmas tree. When I was a wee one, we didn't.
You know, we are going to have to go and do that one of these years, Tigger.
Never had a real one. We went and we looked at artificial trees. I don't mean to get off topic, but we looked at artificial trees. Was it last weekend? We went to a Christmas store. Holy smokes, they're proud of them. Wasn't that one? There was one that was over $1,000. We found one that was $1,700.
That's a little.
I'm for a real tree at this point.
That's out of our price range. And by the way, if any of you are wanting to kind of do that, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and the Griswolds go out and they cut their own Christmas tree. Tigger, I think you would enjoy this. That most national forests allow people to come in and harvest a tree for personal use at Christmas time. However, you typically have to have a Forest Service issued permit to do so and follow some specific guidelines. But if you live near a national forest, I would highly recommend checking this out.
I think that would be a lot of fun. A very neat tradition, kind of that classic scene, you know, right, where you go out and you pick your Christmas tree and you drag it home with the horse and all of that. That would be pretty cool. But in our country where we're at, we don't have a lot of trees. So I have a hard time, cutting some down. We have a hard time just growing trees in our front yard. How many other people are like that too?
Good point. Point taken. But there you go. If you're looking for an activity and you do live near one of those areas, that's an idea. Of course, though, you can always support your local tree farms too. Next, if you're thinking about making a trip up to the northeast part of the U.S., Maryland to be exact, in Sykesville, Maryland, a new spa is opening, and it's a beer spa. It's called BierBath, and it's opening December 9th. And get this, the spa features hot baths infused with hops and barley that are said to provide detoxifying benefits. And
so you've got a spa full of beer.
Yes, and you get to sit.
legit. So you get to sit and drink beer?
Well, that's where I'm going.
Drink the bath water if you have to.
Okay, I wouldn't drink the bath water, but after relaxing, on top of having this spa feeling, guests can continue on with enjoying a tap room featuring over 30 different beers.
Okay, where's that?
It's in Maryland.
Okay, we can go to Maryland. We can sit in the beer spa, drink the beer, cut a Christmas tree.
I see how
what I'm doing
this
with
is
this?
all falling into place, isn't it? I could see, I mean, a lot of you guys that have never been to a spa and you poo-poo it. Let me tell you, I drug Tigger to one, and now he understands why us gals like to go sit in the hot tubs.
Okay, the spas are awesome. I mean, it's not what you think of, that there's going to be somebody there and clipping your toenails, right?
No.
I mean, that's a totally different situation. A rodeo buddy and I, when we go to Vegas for the finals, we have a 3-hour spa time, and we hang out in a hot tub and have drinks, and it's awesome.
And what did you find out? You went and enjoyed it, and you and your buddy had some of the best conversation you had in a long time. On top of it, they'll bring you a, say your favorite whiskey or a beer right to you.
Absolutely.
And you realized who else was in the spa? A lot of contestants.
It was full of bullfighters that were kind of getting healed up from the previous night's performance, getting knocked around, so they were healing their wounds. It was awesome. I love it. Spa day. I'm in. Yep. And beer in this case.
There you have it. Spas are not just for the ladies. All right, here is the next trend that's going on if you haven't decorated yet for Christmas. The ugly Christmas tree trend. We've all heard of the ugly Christmas sweater. Well, it's taken on a whole new meaning with the ugly Christmas trees. They are popping up all over in 2023. And this is what folks are doing. They're adorning their trees with pom-poms and feathers, while others are going for a Christmas cactus, or they're buying an ugly Christmas tree from sites like Amazon that resemble, say, ones from the cartoon Charlie Brown. Another popular is a 15-inch redneck Christmas tree that's selling on Amazon right now for $15, and it's nothing more than a toilet plunger with several evergreen branches and one red ornament. The description reads, listen to this, toilet plunger base with wooden handle makes a great holiday gag gift. Can be decorated with ornaments or left bare. Decoration only. The plunger not designed for actual use. See, we're off to holiday fun and you didn't even realize it. We come back from the break. We're talking about how to do small talk with those that maybe don't have the same interests as you. And we've got an idea for a holiday trip that also works as a gift. Stay where you are. The Ben Show will be back after this. Are the Florida Keys calling your name? Have you dreamed of catching exotic mahi-mahi, red snapper, sailfish, grouper? Blue Water Girl Charters can fulfill your dreams of saltwater fishing excitement. Book today, full or half-day charters. Let Blue Water Girl Charters make your dreams a reality. Blue Water Girl Charters. Follow on Facebook for booking and more information. Blue Water Girl Charters. Catch dinner and memories.
Hi, this is Kim from Adora Boot and Western Wear, and wanted to let everybody know that we are now carrying our Watson boots. Our Watsons have an all-leather stacked heel, all-leather footbed, come in many, many different hides. There's ostrich, there's python, there's the rough out. We have all sizes, colors, and we'll be carrying them from here on out.
The holidays are around the corner, and finding that thoughtful gift is always the goal. We have the perfect idea for you. Meet author Rochelle Barrett, The Prairie Crocus.
I welcome you to my world, a collection of poems, love notes, and essays about ranch life, motherhood, and life lessons from the prairie in my new book, Anthology, and 2024 Ranch Life Calendar. Order both today at prairie-crocus.com.
Beautiful photos with words that speak to the heart and soul. Prairie-crocus.com, turning thoughts into writings from the heart. A perfect gift in time for the holidays. Welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, and Ryan Shotgun, as always, my co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. Now, we had a circumstance recently happen with us involving, which can sometimes be an uncomfortable situation when you are visiting about hunting with a non-hunter. And that was with a work colleague that asked us, how can we go about being a hunter? How can we do this?
This was could have turned into a heated conversation. Let me just kind of back up, kind of set the stage for this. As a lot of you know, and we've talked about a little bit, Beck and I host a local morning show as well in the community where we live. And one of the other DJs, an outstanding man, is originally from San Diego, California, and moved to our area and is not the outdoorsman that we are. He is not a hunter by any stretch of the imagination. So as deer hunting has been happening the last few weeks, we've been talking about it and excited. And in our area where we live, deer hunting is like a national holiday. I mean, this is legit. I mean, they're almost shutting down schools for this deal. And not that, and we won't say his name out of respect to him, and not that he was disagreeing with us for hunting, but he just couldn't understand how we could do that, how we could go out and harvest a deer.
Exactly.
And it's not like he's a vegetarian or against anything like that. He just couldn't understand how we could go about doing that. And so we had it could have been an uncomfortable conversation, but tried to have this conversation with him to help him understand.
And, it went very well, I will say. But how we were able to visit with him was sit and explain to him that it's more than just hunting. It's more than just going and seeing this cute Bambi out in the field and we're going to chase him down and all of that. That gets portrayed sometimes wrongly to the non-hunters. It's more about the tradition. It's taking in and enjoying the wildlife around us. We were able to share with him different experiences of sighting different bucks, how they were moving throughout the property.
And that was his challenge when he said, well, how could you do that? How could you go and harvest one of those bucks that you were glassing, right? That one of those majestic creatures, I think is exactly what he said, quote. And here was one of the big things that I came back with, and it's something that Beck and I have talked a lot about. It is for us, yes, it's tradition, but it's more about conservation. Because the way that, honestly, we have encroached on wildlife's property, and with agriculture, we've been able to create this symbiotic relationship, right, between wildlife and agriculture, but it's something that has to be managed. And if it's not managed properly, then things start to get out of whack and out of control. And when we started to have that conversation with him, that it is about managing wildlife, it's respect for what we have, which results in why we do have to harvest a doe.
Yes.
Why that is. Now, yes, would we like to get those bucks? Of course we would, but why we do have to go in there and harvest. It's about keeping it in check and actually keeping the population healthy.
Exactly. It's keeping it in balance because we all know how diseases can spread if there becomes too many of a certain type of,
right.
And like you said, it's not just the bucks we're after the does as well to keep that balance in check. And he all of a sudden stepped back and said, I can understand. I can concede. You're right. We have, as society has grown, cities have grown into rural areas, that conservation has to happen. Otherwise, diseases will spread.
And I think the word that a lot of people use is encroachment. Another way that we can combat those, if I can use that term loosely, is use those analogies in terms of conservation and keeping things in balance, especially, if we compare it to fishing. We need to do that in a lot of our stock ponds, right? A lot of us have ponds on our property and areas that we fish. And instead of throwing everything back all the time, if you want to get bigger fish, you got to harvest those little ones out, right? Otherwise, you just have all of these stagnant fish that are just stale and they don't grow anymore, right? It's the same concept with lawns. And, when we talk to him about that, we talk to him about pruning a plant is the same exact concept, that if you want to have bigger and better in the future, that you have to kind of manage what you have. He's a big gardener. And when we explained it to him in that way of how that he needed to manage his garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he needed to prune some of the fruit off. You know, he wanted to get a giant pumpkin this year's. And we said, well, he knew he had to cut back some of the pumpkins so that all the nutrients went into the one. Then he started to understand a little bit that wildlife is the same way, that if we want to have a healthy ecosystem, we have to help manage said ecosystem.
Well said there, Tigger. And you have to let those non-hunters not be afraid to ask their questions. Encourage them.
Yeah, and don't get offended by it.
Yes, that is probably the biggest thing is we didn't immediately say get bowed up when he asked us. Instead, we sat back and had a very calm conversation about it, and we were respectful of his thoughts as well.
And he was very passionate, and that's usually the situation is you have the other person that is very staunchly passionate and emotional a lot of times about that. So let them get those things off their chest, right? Puke that stuff up, and then they got an empty stomach, and now they can swallow something else. And that's where the big challenge is, because we're very passionate about hunting and conservation, and which, by the way, we did not fill our tags. I mean, if people are wondering that, I'll just throw that out there. We didn't. We decided to pass up what we saw this year, but it's us being very, very patient. And I tell you what, of having that conversation just a few weeks ago with him, I would say he's had a whole new respect and understanding for us outdoorsmen and outdoors women out there, where now he's gotten curious about it. I don't know if he's ready to go out with us, but I would bet, don't you think, that he would come along with us when we go glassing for deer?
Oh, absolutely.
Or shed hunting or something like that.
I do believe he would now. And in the past, he has been an individual where, say, you bring some of your treats into the office to share, your jerkies, some of those rewards from your harvest.
Right.
In the past, he's always turned away and said, nope. And he's not vegetarian. He eats beef. He loves chicken, all of that. But when it came to venison or duck or pheasant, he's turned away because in his mind, it's wildlife. You should let those go. But after we had this great conversation with him, now all of a sudden,
he ate the jerky.
Yes, Tigger brought jerky in, and he immediately tried it and said, wow, this was good. He had new appreciation for us. And I think the thing is we all had mutual respect for one another.
I know that's hard to do, especially this time of the year of the holidays. We're kind of tense anyway, and we get together with those friends and family, and oftentimes we have conflicting opinions that are polar opposites of each other. I have it in my family. You have it in yours. So, I think the big P word is what we need to practice this year in 2023, patience.
There you have it. Well said, Tigger. All right, we're going to toss this to break, but when we come back, we've got an idea that'll take a little more stress off of you for Christmas shopping, plus get you all out on a trip. Stay where you are. The Ben Show will be right back.
The hunt is planned. The guide is booked. The trip is blocked off in the calendar. But one huge detail remains, preserving that trophy, creating a memory that will last a lifetime. Little Rack Taxidermy has that fast, friendly service to fulfill your taxidermy in a timely, professional manner. Reach out to Heather with Little Rack Taxidermy through Facebook at Little Rack Taxidermy, or send an email to heatherjoe23@hotmail.com. Little Rack Taxidermy, bringing back the natural look.
Shooting ducks, skinning bucks, I'm a hunting princess in a pickup truck.
In the field, on the farm, or in the saddle, we're right there with you in your pocket, on your phone, and everywhere you go. RFD TV Now. Current ag reports, geo-targeted weather, live streaming 24/7, and our full collection of shows you love at the tip of your finger. At less than $10 a month, it's the cheapest tool on the farm. Download the app today and start watching RFD TV Now.
You've waited, dreamt of a hunting adventure, and now have harvested that trophy of a lifetime. Keep the memory alive with a custom-designed mount, preserved as a work of art. Check out our approved taxidermist depending on your location. The award-winning Schneider Taxidermy is located in Helena, Montana. When hunting the Dakotas, JB's Wildlife Designs in Mandan, North Dakota, then Shadwin Creek Taxidermy in Nebraska, and for the Central USA, Little Rack Taxidermy in Macomb, Illinois. Reach out to The Ben Show and let us help you find the right taxidermist. Welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Ben Show. I'm your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, and Ryan Shotgun, my co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. All right, we know dollars are tight this time of year for everyone. Plus, then there's always that stress, too, of hosting or trying to arrange travel plans so everyone can get home in time for the holidays. And after recent research has come out saying 90% of people would rather receive an experience type gift than an actual physical gift, I am going to throw at you an idea that I think would be a home run for most of you. That is, look at the map. I'm serious. Get out the map and look where your family is. Those that typically try to get home together to gather around for the holidays. It's not too late to be doing this. And here is the idea. Pick an area that is in between and everyone meets there as a central location. For example, if you're in North Dakota and a lot of your family now lives in Nebraska, consider maybe having Christmas in the Black Hills. There are lots of sites from Airbnb to VRBO that are vacation rental spots to even more local managed vacation rental businesses. It's easy. I've done it many a times. We did one actually down in Deadwood area a few years back.
When we did one with my folks, too.
Yes, we did.
Took
You're
them
right.
to Nashville. Everybody flew into Nashville together. They had the time of their life. They loved it.
And you may sound a little bit,
Mom didn't have to do all the cooking, so she was happy.
Exactly. So there went the unorthodox way of hosting Christmas because Mom didn't have to cook. Mom didn't have to clean the house and get prepared. And then Mom didn't also have to go around and buy all those gifts. The gift was everybody meeting in a new location together to celebrate the holidays, meaning you got to go on a trip, which equaled to an experience, which equaled to an adventure of exploring a new area together as a family.
My dad still talks about that. That was a couple of years ago, but he still talks about that.
Oh.
That was his favorite trip he's ever done. And it was only a few days.
But that's okay. It was only a few days and the memories last forever.
And instead of buying those gifts for each other, remember how everybody took a turn buying a meal?
Yes.
And that's what was so fun. You didn't buy gifts for brothers and sisters. We just took turns. This was my turn and I bought the supper that night.
And if you're that family that's maybe thinking, we don't want to go out to eat all those meals, that can get expensive. This is where the fun comes. If you're renting a home, they more than likely come with all of the utensils in the kitchen you would need to prepare
Pots and pans
a meal.
and everything are usually in there, yeah.
Exactly. So then, you know what you do? You assign a meal per family, and they get to create something to serve for everyone. I know we rented one home once that was able to hold 3 families. We each had our own floor within the home.
Is that when we went to Deadwood?
Yes.
That was fun.
It was a blast. And there was stuff to do for everyone because the kids got to go out and explore. We got to sit around and visit and have those great conversations. Most of the homes come with games. So if you want to still have that game night like you used to do at a typical Christmas, you still can do that. But there you have it. The stress is away. You're getting away and you're seeing something new while making memories that no one will ever forget. So there you have it. Give it a chance. Look at that map right now, see where everyone's located, and see if you can't pinpoint an area that's kind of in the middle, that's within driving distance for everyone. And then just do a quick Google search of that area for rental homes or properties. You might be surprised that you can pick up a spot that's really not that expensive this time of year.
We got by really cheap on that Nashville trip for my folks. I mean, really, really cheap. We were surprised. It was way cheaper than buying gifts for everyone. Even if there's a name exchange, it was way cheaper to do that than it was to try to meet at the folks for everybody to come in.
And if you're still wanting a gift to open that morning at Christmas, just look around that area. You might be able to just buy a family pass to go visit something that's an attraction right there. So what are your thoughts on this idea? A yay or a nay? We want to hear from you. And that is all, folks. This has been a fun ride this week as we get into the holidays. Thank you to my producer, sound engineer, co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. And remember, if you have anything in the field that you've seen that you think we need to know about, we are wanting your area's field reports. That number again is 305-900-2363. Again, 305-900-2363. You can call or text us anytime, or you can email bendradioshow@gmail.com. If you missed part of this episode or you want to hear past shows, you can find them all on the website, thebendshow.com, and be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app and to the Ben Show YouTube channel. If you're looking to change things up for your next event, conference, or awards banquet, have us, Tigger and Beck, entertain your crowd. We are now booking for 2024. We are PRCA Pro Rodeo card holders, where Tigger is a pro rodeo announcer, and we are PRCA music directors too. From MCs to event headliners, public speakers, to acting as a host couple, let us make your next gathering extra special. We cover all topics from ranching, cattle, hunting, fishing, camping, to even rodeo. So think about that. Have us, Tigger and Beck. Thank you to our partners, Ditali Outdoors, the Prairie Crocus, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Blue Water Girl Charters, Buckstorm, Little Rack Taxidermy, Mickey's Mustard, ToxicCalls.com, Wablo Creek Outfitters, Atlas Tracks, RFD TV, and Wrangler. Finally, a big thanks to all of you listeners out there that came along. And whether you're coming or going today, stay with us as we ranch it up. And remember to keep up with me, Beck, all week long by following The Bend on Facebook and on Instagram at The Bend Show. This is Rebecca Warner. Catch Beck if you can next week. You never know what will be coming around the corner on The Bend.